Hello, cozy friends. How are we doing? Y'all, it's been a minute since we've seen each other. For the past month or so, I have been uprooting my entire life for a new little job, but because of that and because of how crazy my schedule has been, I feel like I haven't had a lot of time just to game outside of the ones that I play almost every day. And so I decided to do something about it. Earlier this week, I picked 5 games from the Wholesome Games Direct, wrote down all the games that caught my attention, that I was excited for, which were way too many, by the way, and then I played each demo for about 30 minutes, seeing what it had to offer and see if it would make me want to come back. Now, before we get into everything, if you like this video, want to see more of these videos, or have a video idea yourself, please let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And before we get into anything, we have to go over the ranking list, which of course starts at the very top with I'm coming to the cottage. These are simply just games I'm taking to the cottage. If we have downtime, if me, Illy, and Shane want to play a game, these are the games that we're playing. And then a tier below that is Call Me Sharpay Evans, because I want more. These are games that caught my attention, that are fabulous, obviously, but I just want more of them. I either want something different from them, I didn't feel like it fully grabbed me in the way that I wanted it to, so I want more from it. And then finally the third tier is a drag queen who just wears basically a tent for a reveal during a lip sync. Now hear me out with this one. Reveals in RuPaul's Drag Race lip syncs are not bad. They're amazing, they're show-stopping, it's what everyone wants to see. It's when a queen comes out in almost a loofah-looking tent to only rip it off in the first 2 seconds. So there's something there. There's something that I want to see more of, but it just ends up being not that great. Now, if you'll notice, I only have 3 tiers here, and that's because, if I'm being honest, I knew these games were coming out. I knew that I would like a lot of these games. These games are in the cozy gaming niche. None of these games are bad per se, they just didn't attract me in the ways that I thought they would. So by no means, if your favorite game, if your favorite demo, if your new hyperfixation is on this list, it a bad game does not make. And with all of that out of the way, let's get into the first game that we played, which is Booknook. This game doesn't have a release date at the time that I'm filming this. It only has the demo and a really cute trailer, but it's made by the same developers as Campervan Make It Home. And y'all, if you know anything about me, if you've seen any of my streams, you know that Campervan was one of my favorite games that I've played in the past year. So it's safe to say that I had very high hopes for a new game by this developer where you make little miniatures yourself and just have a cozy little time. Now, like I said at the beginning, I played up to 30 minutes of every game. This one did only take about 15 minutes to finish the demo, but I still had a good time playing it. The art style and music are absolutely top tier. It's what I almost love the most about Campervan, is the art style is so cute. The music is just so relaxing. I could truly listen to it for hours on end. But whereas games like Campervan and similar ones like Unpacking allow you to place things really wherever you want, this one to me just seemed a little too much of that actually making a miniature, where you have to put the places in the right spot or else you're not making it, so it felt a little point and click for me, which I'm just not personally a fan of those games. So I think that's also why it didn't really take me that long to finish this, because I was like, okay, that goes there, that goes there. They give you a little diagram, and again, all of it is very cute. What I also really appreciated is at the end of the demo, when you finish all your little scenes, you actually get to put them together to make a full miniature. So of course, that part was so cute, getting to see all the work that you put in finally come together to make one big scene. And then what I also appreciated is at the end of that, you got treated to little 2D, almost paper looking characters acting out a little story in front of the miniature that you just made. And that's really all the demo was, and it really didn't need to be any more, but because that sort of play style is just not for me, I'm gonna put this at Call Me Sharpay because I want more. I feel like I want to play more of this game. I would have a good time playing this game, especially in stream, if I just need a cozy little brain off activity, but I don't think it's one that I would absolutely gravitate towards. The next game on the list that I played was Moonlight Peaks, which actually released earlier this month that I'm filming this on July 7th, and this is a very cute and adorable cozy farming sim, very similar to Coral Island or Stardew Stardew Valley, but before we get into any of the gameplay, what I appreciated about it is the story is a lot more rich than just the simple, your grandpa left you a farm in this rundown town, you have to save it from something, you have to collect things and donate them. The story starts out really differently, and I think that difference is what makes this game work. Because people in the cozy gaming space know there is almost too much. There's an oversaturation of cozy farming sims trying to be the next Stardew. But where they fall flat a lot of the time is that their new mechanic either doesn't really fit the genre, or it's just too much like Stardew Valley that it becomes a little bland. But having this game played entirely at night in the in-game world, where you go around, you find adorable little creatures that you usually wouldn't, and just the most outrageous NPCs, but in the best way, was really a good change of pace that I feel like this needed. And I mention the characters because they're on full display in this game. They're probably my favorite part of this game because like the whole world around you, there's not anything that's typical. All these characters, just by their design and kind of who they are, have really interesting backstories that really made me want to get to know them. During my first in-game day, I couldn't even walk fully into town before I was stopped by a very eccentric character telling me that I needed to do something in order to pass his little test to get into town. So I just really appreciated that kind of twist that doesn't seem to work for some games, but really worked for this game. And then getting a little bit into the actual gameplay of it all, what I really liked is the animals that you get when you first start out. You have a couple animals. Their designs are also super unique and really fun. When you're in their building or decorating mode, you can also move items pretty freely with your mouse or controller, which I also really appreciated. You don't have to Animal Crossing style kind of line it up in the outside and move it around if it's in the wrong place. And then really anything else in the sort of gameplay loop is basically just the normal farming sim where you get a few little crops at the start, you plant them, you water them, you go around getting the resources, you find some bugs and fish. Actually, now that I say that, I don't think I had a fishing rod. I take that back. I did not fish. So because of all of that, I'm putting this one in I'm Coming to the Cottage. I really want to play more of this game, and since it's already out, I just might buy this game later tonight. The next game on our list that I tried was Milky Delivery, which also doesn't have a release date, only the trailer and a really cute demo, but it's the same developers as Menominee Lane. Menominee Lane was a super cute and well-received, albeit really short game, that had you running a little street where you gotta build the little shops, you gotta set the prices and what they sell, and it was just kind of it ran its course, and it was a great game. So I know this one has a lot of people excited because it seems like they're trying to branch out and do something really different than Menominee Lane, because this game is an adorably made milk delivery service game where you and your cow move to a new town, you ride around on your little bike, meeting NPCs, delivering milk, gathering resources, all to find your cow a friend. Now this one I did play for the full 30 minutes. I only got 2 in-game days done, and I truly felt like I did nothing. The gameplay loop is pretty simple. You feed your cow, you get the milk for the day, and then you go around and you have different paths that you can take that require different stamina or energy. And then once you get there, there's usually an NPC, there's more resources to gather, there's something for you to go exploring, and then you have to get back to your cow by the end of the day to go to rest and sell all your things and start again the next day. So almost on the surface, it sounds a lot like Menominee Lane, where there's not that much going on, there's not a really complex gameplay loop, there's not a lot of things it has to teach you how to do, but very much like Menominee Lane, this works beautifully. The art style, the lighting, the character designs are probably my favorite from the day that I played. And what I really enjoyed about this is it's not as simple just you set the price, you leave and go about gathering resources, and then you come back and you get money. You are truly traveling around, meeting these NPCs, getting more dialogue, learning more about them, running into them at different little spots, all while learning more about this town and the people who live in it. So I really have nothing more to say. This is easily going and Coming to the Cottage. When this game comes out, I will be getting it. I will be playing it. I'll probably go back and play more of the demo because, again, I feel like I did nothing. I feel like I made no progress and I played for 30 minutes straight. Our fourth game on our list that I tried out is called Deer and Boy, and during the Wholesome Games Direct, this one instantly caught my attention just because of the art style and the premise. The art style is absolutely gorgeous, and then really all that I could tell from the trailer is that you're a boy and you have a magical deer of sorts. What else do you need? This game has actually released on June 23rd, so it's been out for a minute, but I feel like I haven't heard anyone talking about it. But y'all, more people need to. Now, I will say, only caveat to me specifically playing this game is that when you open it on your computer, it literally says, please play this game with a controller. You'll have the most fun with a controller. Don't play with anything else, play with a controller. And mine died about halfway through. So I did play half this demo with my mouse and keyboard. They're not wrong, it wasn't really a fun experience, but I'm not going to let that decrease the game's value. Now, this one also took me around 30 minutes, and since I did complete the demo, I fully know if I'm going to get this game, this story would wreck me. I won't spoil anything that happens in the demo because truly the demo is a story in itself, but something happens at the very, very end of the demo that just had me instantly hooked. I want to know more, I want to play more, and what really drew me in and what I love about game design, to get a little nerdy for a moment, is I love when a game just throws you into the middle of a story, to a middle of an environment, and you really are figuring out what's going on, where you are with the character. Because in the trailer and everything that I've seen, you're going around these great lands, but you're mostly outside, you're mostly in like forests from what I've seen, you're mostly in these like absolutely gorgeous little scenes. But for this one, it drops you in what I thought was like a train silo. It's some sort of like factory, and I truly was like, did I get the wrong game? And you're kind of in that environment for the whole demo, so I'm pretty sure this is like the opening scene of the full game, and so it probably drops you in this little area and then explores out into the wilderness, out into the universe a lot more after that. Now, I will say this game is probably not for every cozy gamer, because this game is a puzzle platformer. I don't know if it's technically considered 2D, because you can really only move forward and backward, but like the art style and some of the things you interact with are 3D. So I don't know if that's technically considered a 2D puzzler, let me know down in the comments. But I will say, while playing the demo, it didn't seem like a lot of the puzzles were super intuitive at the start, which I don't think is neither good or bad. I do like a little bit of challenge. I don't like when games just hold your hand and are like, wow, I wonder what that button does over there. But also just something to know, I feel like this game wouldn't have taken me the 30 minutes if I didn't mess up on some puzzles going through. And then the only other point that I wrote down is that I do have a pretty decent PC. I have a pretty good internet connection. I have pretty good monitors. I set my game to 60 FPS, and at one point 120 FPS, and when doing some of the more platforming heavy sections of the game, I did notice that my computer and monitor really couldn't keep up or like directly show me where I was without me like squinting a little bit, without me really like focusing on where I was. So that might have just been a me problem. It might have been some of the art style, it might just be my monitors and my PC, but I felt like I had a harder time kind of gauging where I was, what buttons I needed to press in order to do like a really quick sequence. Some of that was just a little bit harder. But overall, the story, the art style, the kind of mystery that exists, and the really cute gameplay is gonna make me put this in Call Me Sharpay Evans because I want more. I'm still a little hesitant on some of the puzzles, some of the more like interactive elements of this game, but I really, really want to explore more. I want to know what happens to the story. I want to see more of this world for sure. And the final game that I played today was Design and Conjure, which is a very cute, witchy themed cleaning and organizing sim, very similar to like Whisper of the House, very similar to like Unpacking sort of vibes, where you're kind of thrown into this environment and you just have to put things in different places. And when I was playing, I finished the first room in about 30 minutes, and so I moved on to the second, sort of location or room that I was doing, and I played a little bit of that. Now, before we get into everything that I really liked about the first room, the gameplay, the mechanics, everything else, in playing that second room, I'm gonna be so real, I kind of forgot during the first room that I was playing a witchy-themed cleaning up sim. And because it's only in the second room where things get a lot more magical, things get a lot more whimsical, you get to see more of just this world and the magic that truly exists in it. And of course, I know any game, they have to introduce this world, they have to introduce the mechanics, they have to introduce everything, and some things in the first room still felt magical. You had some magical items, like a crystal ball, like a broom, like a conjuring set. I'm not saying it wasn't magical, but I really felt the magic only at the end of my playthrough. But going back to that first room, the art style first is super camper van style, super cozy style. It's very cute, very well done. The story that you're kind of thrown into and the characters that you meet, I will say, seem a little bit formulaic. The dialogue just didn't feel all the way there for me. It felt very much like these two characters are having an interaction in order to move the plot, in order to get you to play the game. And I don't think that's necessarily the worst thing. I'm not putting this game on a stake and calling it the worst thing ever. I just was kind of hoping for more because the character designs and what they're doing with them are amazing. And then once you get into that gameplay, it is very much just unpacking, very much just like Camper Van. You get to freely move around this room, there are boxes kind of scattered throughout, and then you just put things away wherever you please. And there were two things that I also really enjoyed about this game, albeit one was a little overwhelming, and that's customization with the items. You can fully customize any single item in this game. And I'm not talking about the simple, you can make this red or blue. You can get hex codes in here. And again, for me who already gets overwhelmed at where to put everything and making sure everything is in its place, I didn't end up doing a lot of customization, but I learned to quickly appreciate it because some of the things that you pull out of your little boxes, of your little bags, are not really the colors that you want them to be. And I have to assume or maybe hope that that's intentional. My first little room was very peachy, very pink, very light and breezy. But then I would pull out a little decoration and it would be dark green. And I was this doesn't really fit right here. So let me just change that color a bit. Boom, it matches everything perfectly and I'm a lot happier now. And then the second thing that I really appreciated is that on the side, they not only have a music player, which is so nice, so it shows you what songs from the game it's playing, you can skip, you can rewind, but then on the side, they also have a little checklist of things that you need to do, but then there's also some bonus things that you can do. Whether it's putting an item somewhere specific, whether it's cleaning up something that maybe the cat knocked over, there's just different things that give you a better score that I really appreciate and that kind of bring just a new life to just simply putting things in different places. So if this game was just that first room of just organizing, unpacking, and that's it, I would put this probably in that lowest tier. But because I got to that second room and I found out that this game is so magical, so whimsical, it looks like a lot of fun new mechanics get thrown in, I'm putting it in the very top tier of Call Me Sharpay Evans because I want more. I want to explore this game, I want to see what this game has to offer when it fully releases, but for right now, I'm kind of just seeing it out of my view. And y'all, those were 5 games that I tried out to get back into cozy gaming, to get myself to play new games that you all can also play right heckin' now with the free demos. So if you make your own list, if you've played these games, if you have played the full versions of these games, please let me know down in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear what you're liking. I want to hear what you would change. And until next time, I will talk to you so stinkin' soon.